the horror season has certainly started. It's not with a bang, but it's with a something, that's for sure. So, this movie isn't going... This movie isn't going to be for everyone. I mean, this is going to be for a very particular group of people. Because what this movie does is it takes a familiar genre such as the demonic possession genre and it adds a unique take to the mix. And in this case, it's the Indian culture that's being splattered in. And while, that's a good idea, we haven't seen that before, I was thinking as this movie was forwarding, I was thinking if you remove Indian culture from this movie, what this movie really is at its core is just another generic, dull, seen it all before demonic possession film. Because, as I just said, everything in this movie we have seen time and time again. This is the exact structure and beat for beat of a demonic film. There's no surprises, there's no unique turns. This isn't going to be a game changer for the horror genre. This isn't going to be a game changer for demonic films. Alright? Literally, the first act of this movie is the movie Wish Upon. Does anybody remember that movie? Came out in 2017 and it has the chick from the Kissing Booth movies in it. Probably nobody remembers it, but Google it. Watch it. Literally the first act is an entire movie crammed into one. It's Wish Upon. And then the second act takes little segments from Smile. It's not a direct replica, but there's parts of Smile in here for sure. And it's just, we've seen it all before. We know every turn that this movie is going to take. All of the direction that this movie takes, story-wise, I was already one step ahead of it. As I was watching this movie, I was so fucking bored. I was literally just, saying to myself what I think is going to happen next. And it happened. Like, occasionally there would be something, that would change. But, yeah. And there's this romance that goes on between our main character and this guy. I thought that was the most unnecessary relationship of the year. I didn't see the point of that. Like, he's introduced just to add another kill to your count in the movie. Is that it? I mean, he has probably the best kill in the entire movie. But I mean, seriously, what's his fucking story? I mean, he helps investigate a house. I mean, we've seen that. Like, haunted house movies. It fucking Smile. I brought that up. Literally, a good part of that movie is fucking Smile. Like, I'm sorry, I might be referencing this just to way too many movies, but it's just, people are calling this, a unique, like, horror experience in 2023. I don't think that. And, I'm someone, I go into these movies with an open mind. I go into it, I'm a big defender of foreign horror. I think foreign horror is some of the best out there. But however, saying all that, where this movie does strive is the deaths. I think these are some of the best deaths I've seen in 2023. Because these kills do something I've been wanting to see for ages in horror. And that is immersive sound design. These kills you don't see happen. It's by an invisible force. So it's kind of hard to make that realistic when every kill is kind of the same way. But this film does a really clever thing with the kills where you're seeing a part of the room that the kill's taking place in. You're not seeing the kill take place that you usually would be in a demonic film. But it uses the sound design, it uses the bone cracking, the squirting of the blood, the agonizing in pain. It uses the screaming, the everything to really suck you in, to really give you a solid idea of what's happening in the kill. And I think, I think kills that make you use your imagination, I think that's when the kill becomes a lot more violent. Is I think what the viewer makes up in their head is imagination. I think that's something that has been lost in cinema over the past couple of years, and I think that's something that this film does magnificently, is bring that imagination part of horror, back into cinema. And so, I really liked seeing all that in the kills, and I think, I think a movie like this really proves that, kills don't necessarily have to be brutal, gory, blood splatter filled, sequences. That they can actually be done in a way where, where it's effective, but it doesn't show a drop of blood. And I think, I think this film does that really good there. The acting in here, I would also say, is passable by everybody. I thought everybody was really good in this movie. What else did I like in this movie? Oh yeah, the creature in this film is really, really fucking cool. Like, you don't see the creatures in here, but for anyone, I guess, who goes to this movie expecting a monster creature feature, it is not. It is not a monster creature feature. The monster is definitely in here, and the design of the monster is horrific. It's something right out of Doom. And I love that. And I love the design of the monster and all that. The film has artworks scattered throughout it. And I thought that was pretty horrific. Some of the artwork, some of the paintings that you see, I thought that was quite disturbing to see. Yeah, that's really all I can say. The ending of this movie was the best part of the movie, like, by a long shot. This film, I think, just was not for me. This film was not for me. I think there's an audience for this type of movie, but I just don't think the audience is me. I think this is a movie that had good ideas, but then when you really break it down and you really think about it logically, this film doesn't really do anything to introduce a new side of the demonic, possession genre that we haven't already seen. It's just another one of the movies. I mean, it's better than half of the fucking demonic movies that we get nowadays. Like, every movie is trying to be the fucking Exodus, and while this film, does have like a spider crawling scene, very, similar and homage-like to the Exodus. The scares in the film are fucking horrible. Scares in this film are predictable as bullshit. Like, you can see them coming from a mile away. Like, it's like, yeah, I don't know why the scares like these. I mean, these scares just aren't effective. It's bullshit. That these are the type of scares that we're getting. Yeah, they weren't very scary to me. But like I said, I might be, this film's been doing really well with critics. So I don't know, I'm just really not the audience for this movie. I don't want to give it, a bad review necessarily. I just want to kind of give you, my complaints on why I personally did not enjoy this movie at all. I really hope people enjoy it. But, I just think this is a movie that either, this is going to be one of those misunderstood kind of movies where people go into it expecting a monster movie or expecting an exciting movie. Because if you watch the trailer, the trailer does create a very, under your skin, adrenaline kind of packed feeling. And that's not what this movie is at all. This is a very slow burn fucking movie. Like, you have to get through a lot in order to get to, I guess to get to the real excitement of this film. And yeah, that's just something as well. This film was just really fucking slow. Like, it was really hard to get into. The first half an hour, had me intrigued. There was enough mystery there. The story was expanding. I was liking it. But then it was just after that really good opening, after something happens to one of the characters, my attention just died off in this film. And I did not care, really what was going to happen. I completely checked out. And you know, I'm not someone who who usually checks my watch throughout the film, but I was just checking because I knew the film finished soon. This is a pretty short movie, like an hour and a half, and for the movie I was just checking my watch constantly, and I was just like, fuck, this movie has another 45 minutes to go. And oh my god, this film's not for me. I think I've expressed that enough. Like, yeah, watch it for yourself, form your own opinion. But, that's just where I lay on this film.